Ava Marie Belford. This stuff, I'm a percussionist from Southern Illinois Concert Band. These are mounts for the bass drum over here, which is the big drum. And then this instrument is for the triangle. For see if I can do this. Like that. We use that for like extras in a way. And this is a wood block. We use that for like, this kind of makes it sound like this, which is easy. These are just all cool stuff, which I want to show you this one. We don't have our person because she's not feeling so well, but we have other cool stuff. This is really cool. That's cool. And then there's this thing. This is, I don't know exactly what it's called, but we kind of use it for the ratchet, and we do this. So that's cool. There's just a lot of extra stuff we use, and then we got this for the suspend cymbal that we use to, like, you know, roll our stuff. This is our maracas for when we play like Fly Me to the Moon. So we use this for the Star Trek to make like an alien looking sound. I can't really do it very well because it's kind of broken, but it works. We got the shaker. This is called a wind chime, and it does this. And this is the xylophone, and that makes all types of amazing noises. Jill uses this for one of her like solos. This is the bass drum, and then we got ourselves a drum set, and that's pretty much all we got at the moment, and some crash cymbal. This is Ava cutting out.
Can you give us a big smile? Hi, how are you? Thank you. Oh my God, no.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. Today we are giving you a celebratory concert in honor of the 2024 total solar eclipse. 7 years ago, we were also here celebrating the other eclipse, and we've been working hard since January to bring you this concert. Today's concert is in 3 parts. The first part is movie music that relates to either the eclipse or space or things like that. The second part, we're excited to offer 2 world premieres by one of our own in the band. And the third part after intermission is all swing music. And if you feel like it, by all means, you can get up and dance. But we are so excited to be here. And we'll start with the theme from The Magnificent Seven. thank you so much. Last time we had a concert for the Eclipse in 2017, the way that we structured the concert is that we played a piece for every state in the path of the Eclipse, from Washington State down to South Carolina. This year, we're not doing that. We've got a different program, but we are playing a little bit of a homage to that with this piece and a piece a couple of slots down. This piece was the Magnificent Seven, and as you might be aware, the Eclipse this year is entering the United States at Texas. Well, the movie, The Magnificent Seven, was filmed in the states of Mexico, where the eclipse will first hit the North American continent. In fact, Durango is one of the places where a lot of the scenes were filmed. And so we chose to start out with the Magnificent Seven. And we were a little worried that Governor Abbott might not let us play it because, you know, they're entering from Mexico into Texas right around Eagle Pass, but that's just a joke. Anyway, our next piece in the movie theme is Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. This is by James Horner. Pretty much considered one of the better, if not the best, of the Star Trek films that are out there. And this music by James Horner is just fantastic. It includes the traditional Star Trek thing, but also the way that he revised it for this film. Each character has a theme. The Enterprise has a theme. And it's just a beautiful thing, and it's got a lot of references to cues that were actually in the movie. So enjoy Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. catch my breath. That was exciting. So, our next piece is from an iconic composer with iconic movies. It's entitled Soaring with John Williams. It features selections from Superman the movie, the original. Then it segues to Empire of the Sun, which was a 1987 movie starring a very young Christian Bale. And the cut from that movie is called Cadillac of the Skies. There's a little bit of a discrepancy because the Cadillac of the Skies cue has different music in the score. But in any event, it's beautiful music, and it is soaring. And then, of course, John Williams would not be complete without Star Wars, which is what it finishes with. So, Soaring with John Williams. so much. So I mentioned last time we went from Washington to South Carolina. This time it's from Texas to Maine and then out over the Canadian Maritimes. So, all of the states along the path this time get the center line except for one. And that is the poor little state of New Hampshire. They lost the old man in the mountain, he fell down. They don't get the center line of this solar eclipse. So, in honor, and to kind of buck them up, we're going to play New Hampshire Hornpipe. It's from the movie On Golden Pond, and it's a wonderful piece for woodwinds, and I think you'll enjoy it. Concludes the first part of the show. Now we move on to the second part, and it's really exciting. The band has, for many years, talked about commissioning new work specifically for our group, the Southern Illinois Concert Band. And we've considered some composers over the years, but with COVID, it kind of fell to the wayside. But this year, in honor of the Eclipse and Southern Illinois, one of our own, Mike Thomas, he's the president of the band, he plays alto sax. He has composed two new pieces, A Walk in the Canada and Pale Blue Dot. It's a world premiere of these two pieces, specifically for here, our community in Southern Illinois. So I ask you to welcome Mike to the podium for these two fantastic new pieces. Thank you.
Well, thank you, David. I really hate to leave because I enjoy playing my saxophone with the band so much, but this is a lot of fun too. We're going to do a couple of pieces. The first one is called A Walk in Macanda, and actually this piece started about 20 years ago as a saxophone quartet, and then it evolved into this year when we decided we're going to do this event. And I got the title Walk in Macanda because Macanda is the eclipse center for the two eclipses. It all kind of came together. So this is it, the walk in Makanda. Quirky and whimsical, just like Makanda.
Bravo, Michael!
Hey, by the way, is anybody from Makanda in the audience? They're all busy doing their thing, I know, okay. All right, walk in Makanda. Yeah, I've got a hip replacement coming up. So, hey, did you notice Paul Simon's bow tie on that thing there on the water tower? Typical Makanda. I want to thank Stuart Bozart, helped take some of those pictures of Makanda. So, Stuart, thank you for your help on that. The next piece, the Pale Blue Dot, I wanted to go into that a little more detail than I did last night. I call this speech that Carl Sagan made when the Voyager spacecraft in 1977 was at Saturn. It was his idea to turn the camera around, take a picture of the Earth. And from that distance, The Earth just a pale blue dot. When he saw the image, it inspired him to write what I call the Gettysburg Address of astronomy. Basically, we're an insignificant dot in this vast cosmos. And what the heck are we doing on this planet? We're just screwing it up. And we can do better than that. And that's the message that Carl Sagan put with his soliloquy. You're going to listen to some of those words that Carl wrote in his voice, along with some music that I was inspired to write, and a video that Bill King put together. So we hope that you enjoy this. It's called A Pale Blue Dot.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Voyagers were guaranteed to work only until the Saturn encounter. I thought it might be a good idea, just after Saturn, to have them take one last glance homeward. From Saturn, I knew the Earth would appear too small for Voyager to make out any detail. Our planet would be just a point of light, a lonely pixel, hardly distinguishable from the many other points of light Voyager would see, nearby planets, far-off suns. But precisely because of the obscurity of our world thus revealed, such a picture might be worth having. While almost everyone is taught that the Earth is a sphere, with all of us somehow glued to it by gravity, the reality of our circumstance did not really begin to sink in until the famous frame-filling Apollo photograph of the whole Earth, the one taken by the Apollo 17 astronauts on the last journey of humans to the moon. It seemed to me that another picture of the Earth, this one taken from 100,000 times farther away, might help in the continuing process of revealing to ourselves our true circumstance and condition.
From this distant vantage point, the Earth might not seem of any particular interest. But for us, it's different. Consider again that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there on a moon of dust, suspended in a sunbeam. The Earth is a very small stage in a vast somewhat clear. How frequent their misunderstandings. How eager they are to kill one another. How fervent their hatreds. Our imagined self-importance, the delusion that we have some privileged position in the universe, are challenged by this point of pale light. Our planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. The Earth is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. Visit? Yes. Settle? Not yet. Like it or not, for the moment, the Earth is where we make our stand. It has been said that astronomy is a humbling and character-building experience. There is perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of human conceits than this distant image of our tiny world. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the people who do not, the only home we've ever known.
Welcome back. The second half, which is actually the third part, I think you're going to really, really enjoy. It is entitled Swingin' on the Moon. We've got selections from the Great American Songbook that have been adapted for the band from jazz band style arrangements. And we've got a lot of solos, and I'll try to introduce them and do better than I did last night in getting them in advance. But before we start, I want to recognize a few people in the band that we are grateful for having here. One of them is an old-time member from 15 years ago who's now a high school band director in Crystal City, Missouri, and he is playing on tuba. His name is Nick Webb. Please welcome him. And a member of our sax section, the Barry sax player, he had a funeral to go to in Mississippi, and we have a replacement from Carterville, and his name is Sam Behan on Barry sax. And he's an old hand, but we haven't seen him in a long while, and we are grateful to have him here, and that's Don Kragus on the trap set. Right in the back. So, the first song we're going to do, and these just have, the only connection between these is they either have moon or star or sun in the title. And the first one is Hoagie Carmichael's Stardust from 1927. And it's beautiful. It is funny because if you go through the copyright information for this song, it was originally published as Stardust with 2 words, and then it was changed to Stardust as 1 word, and then back. And actually, I did a little digging, and Hoagie Carmichael preferred the 1-word version, Stardust, which is what is, at least it's printed on my score. This song features 2 soloists, on trumpet, John Odell, and on alto saxophone, Michael Thomas. So, Stardust. John Odell and Mike Thomas. Our next selection hails from 1947, a Burton Lane, Yip Harburg musical, Finian's Rainbow. And as you might have guessed, it has the name Moon. It's that old devil moon. And it features Brad Brzezinski on trumpet, and Deirdre Dollins and Tim Humphreys. No, that's the next song, never mind. Brad Brzezinski on trumpet. I don't know if we have a sax section or sax, but I'll figure it out. I'll let you know if I know it's not done anymore, but we got this beautiful dance floor. If you feel like getting up and dancing, by all means, that's what it's there for. This is dance music, this is swing music. Nobody's gonna laugh at you. They're gonna clap for you. So, our next piece is Blue Moon, and it was used as the theme song for an old-time radio show called Hollywood Hotel. I think that would have a different meaning these days. Anyway, it's by Richard Rodgers and Lawrence Hart. This song features our baritone section, which is Deirdre Dollins and Timothy Humphreys. They have solos in this, so Blue Moon. Thank you very, very much. The next piece is very easy for me to remember because it's from the same year I was born, 1961. And it's from a film based on a Truman Capote short novella, Breakfast at Tiffany's, featuring the inimitable character of Holly Golightly. And the song that won Best Song of the Year in 1962 is Moon River by Henry Mancini, lyrics by Johnny Mercer. And tonight I'm proud to welcome to the microphone member of our flute section, Sarah Merlin, who will be providing vocals for this piece.
And you can sing along because you know this one.
So, Moon River.
Yes. Didn't hear me sing along though. Is there any song?
It's on sign. So, in the old days of Broadway, not everything was a musical, not everything was a play. There was a plethora of wonderful comics and talents, and a lot of the programs from the 50s and 40s were actually called revues. This song, next song, is How High the Moon, It is from a review called Two for the Show. It wasn't really a musical. The lyrics by Morgan Lewis, the music is by Morgan Lewis and the lyrics by Nancy Hamilton. This is a great arrangement. It again features Sarah on vocals. We also have a baritone solo in the middle somewhere. And I believe that's it. So, anyway, How High the Moon?
Somewhere the moon still shines and people still romancing. Somewhere the band is playing and people still are dancing. I know the moon still shines, but things that once were clear, I scarcely see or hear. Somewhere there's music, I'll make the tune. Somewhere there's heaven, I'll hide the moon. There is no moon above when one is far away too, till it comes true that you love me as I love you. Somewhere there's music, it's where you are. Somewhere there's heaven, and we're how far. The darkest night would shine if you would come to me soon. Until you will understand how high the Somewhere there's music, I'll make the tune. Somewhere there's heaven, the darkest night would shine if you would come to me soon. Until you will understand how the I have been largely a different kind of singer in crummy rock bands and everything, but I have to say, at this point in the afternoon or evening performance, after what we just heard, I would be inclined to say to the crummy bar crowd, give it up for the band, because they rocked it.
So, getting close here. This next one is actually a very strange duck. It was written, one song, for a play, not a musical, a play. And that was back in 1932. And then Ben Hecht, written by Ben Hecht. And then someone came up with the idea to turn it into to use it in a musical, an actual musical, and called Take a Chance. Take a Chance because nobody will ever heard of it again after 1932. It is by Eric Arlen, lyrics by Yip Harburg, and it's one of my favorites for kind of a personal reason. In 1972 in May, my dad was shipped to Vietnam. And I don't know if you know this, but when your sponsor, that's the guy in the military, my dad, was shipped to Vietnam, they quit automatic payments. And he still got paid, but all the money got kept at the defense activity in Indianapolis. And we were in El Paso, Texas at the time. So in May, he was in Vietnam, and my mom with 3 kids, 2 teenagers and 1 preteen. She was living in a brand new house that they bought with no money. And she was a miracle worker. She passed away a couple years ago. And she took us to the drive-in. And the first movie that we ever saw at the drive-in was Paper Moon, which was Ryan O'Neal, Tatum O'Neal. She won the Best Supporting Actress, the youngest one at the time. I think Anna Paquin succeeded her later with piano. But anyway, it's only a paper moon floating over a cardboard sky. Oh. I forgot to look at my paper. This features a trumpet solo by Brad Brzezinski, and there's a section flute solo. It's not really a solo, it's a section. So it's only a paper moon. Thomas on the saxophone. Give it up. Our next selection is a little bit later, from 1954. It was written by Bart Howard, everything. I actually met We've got a great arrangement by a Japanese arranger, Hoshida Takashi. You don't have to pronounce it. But it's Fly Me to the Moon, parentheses, in other words. It features saxophone sections, horns, different styles. We got a little Latin thing going on. Towards the end, we get this wonderful fugue thing with saxes, which I call the classical gas section. And it's got some interesting harmonies, some harmonies you don't necessarily hear every day. And it's a really fun piece to play. How High the Moon. All these moon songs run together. Fly Me to the Moon, in other words. thank you all for being here today. I hope you have wonderful and clear as can be, Eclipse viewing conditions tomorrow. We've had a blast playing for you, and we're going to conclude now with one of my favorites, as played at the beginning and the end of the Chesterfield Cigarette Hour, Glenn Miller's Moonlight Serenade. You will not be getting a free package of cigarettes after this, so just so you know. And it features a wonderful descant solo by our first clarinetist, Tom Lee. He waited till the very end to get his spotlight. The interesting thing about this piece is that it was originally written for a jazz band, so there's 5 saxes, 4 trumpets, 4 trombones, rhythm section. And when it was adapted for the concert band, of course, the clarinet lead, there's a clarinet solo in it. Well, as it turns out, in jazz band, there's 2 altos, 2 tenors, and a bass sax. Well, they also double other instruments for colors, like they might play flute or clarinet. In the case of the Glenn Miller Band, when he composed this, it was the baritone sax player who doubled on clarinet. And so he added the solo. It was a he. They didn't allow women at that time, except to be singers. But anyway, so this clarinet solo is carried forward without any changes. It is exactly as written. And all the other parts got distributed to members of the band. So thank you so much. We're going to wrap up now with Moonlight Serenade featuring Tom Lee. Thank you.
Thank you for supporting us. Come out and see us another time whenever we're presenting a concert. And thank you again so much for supporting Southern Illinois Concert Band. I'm Dave Wicks. I'm a good actor. Good night.
What does the Southern Illinois Concert Band mean to you?
Well, as you get older, you appreciate the things that you can still do, and music is certainly one of those things. And to do it with people that you love and that you've been around for a long time. How many years have we been doing this together, John?
Quite a few.
And we're not the only ones, but and then to see new ones come in and take that baton over, so to speak, it's wonderful.
How was it?
Great. Oh, it was great. Absolutely fantastic.
I have to say, it was good, it was fun, we did our parts well.
It was wonderful to be able to keep playing all through this time. It was great. It was wonderful.
Good.
A lot of practice went into it.
Appreciate everybody's efforts and their musical abilities. Some of us aren't retired music teachers or current music teachers, but we have fun playing too, don't we, Tammy?
Absolutely.
And thanks to Mike Thomas for his 2 original pieces we played today. They were very enjoyable. He's a talented young man.
My wife and I met in this band 30 some odd years ago, 35, 36 years ago. We recently returned back last year. I gotta tell you, we returned just at the right time.
How long you been playing?
Well, I'm 77 years old and I started at age 6.
Wow.
So that's 71 years.
Right. What was your favorite piece?
I don't know. I'm kind of into the pale blue dot thing. I like that one. That was good.
I like the finishing piece with Moonlight Sonata. That was a throwback to the big band era. That was a good way to go out. I like that. And I like Mike Thomas's composition. I thought with the Makanda, I thought he did a superb job on it.
My favorite piece, I think, is Walking in Makanda, and then all the swing pieces. I like all those.
I want to do a shout out for everybody in this band that was the benefactor of a whole bunch of public school teachers, educators. We all learned from the kind of people that Mike Thomas is, who brought us up through grade school and high school and taught us how to rehearse, taught us how to practice, and this is why we're able to do what we do. And so, yay, music teachers.
We're a band of volunteers from all over the area. We meet every Monday night and rehearse these songs, mostly because we just love music. And it's where we want to be and what we want to do. And we'd love to have anybody join us who has a like mind and loves music like we do.